Hey there, hi there, ho there. I'm Gazbot, and I'm doing a 15-minute sketch today. By request. Let's see what happens. It's digital.
Okie dokie, so now we're gonna go. So I got quite a few good recommendations, but I've decided to go with Shira, the Princess of Power, which was suggested by Kelsey. I will leave off last names. I got a lot of requests that were in my wheelhouse, such as Godzilla, Power Rangers, things like that, but I felt like doing something a little bit out of my wheelhouse. Some things were way out of my wheelhouse that I forget what, but stuff that I was just never gonna do. One thing that I got a few of that I often advise against if you're requesting is like, hey, I'm going to do a quick, sketch or a quick video or any request or whatever. And the best thing you could do is say like this character. The worst thing you could do is be like these two characters in this specific scene. And I did get a few of those, and not that they're bad ideas or anything, but just I will never do those. Those will never be chosen. That is something you will pay me for to do, if at all, because right now my commissions are closed. But so I took Shira, and there's the new Netflix series coming out, which might be what she was referring to, or maybe just inspired by. I'm not doing that version. I'm most closely doing the original Filmation version. That's the version I grew up with. And nothing against the new one. I'm not one of those people that's all upset that it looks different, but I just have not seen the show, and I barely know what it looks like except for some promo images. That being said, I'm not going to be slavishly beholden to the original design either. I've never drawn it before, so I'm just kind of trying to figure out what she looks like at all right now. I have a couple references up on my other monitor, so I'll take the opacity of this layer down to 50. Let me take it down to actually 20 because I don't think it looks good at all. But just to, I don't know, even if even if I do a layer and a pass, I should say, and I don't like the way it's coming out. Oh, I forgot to mention that I'm doing this on a 15-minute timer, but I forgot to start the timer. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to erase that. I'm just keeping the timer going while I erase it. If I can find my erase, there we go. I'm using, okay, so I'm starting officially now, but I'm a little bit on my timer. I'm using Photoshop like 2018, whatever you call it, the subscription one, which is new to me. Previously, I was using Photoshop CS3 that I owned. And I've been going back and forth between this or Clip Studio Paint. My initial thought was I don't like how different this is than Photoshop CS3 in a bad way. There's certain functions I don't like the way the brushes work, and they don't have like set diameters you could choose, at least not by default. Anything I have to customize, it's like I'm not gonna do. Like I'm just really lazy with that kind of stuff, and I like using kind of default brushes and things like that. So I don't know. It's just like a little bit different in ways I don't like, which is annoying to me. So I've heard a lot of good things about Clip Studio Pro, so I've been practicing with that for the last month or so. But I was pretty sold on it at first, and the more I use it, I'm not sure because it has a lot of weird bugs. One of which was I was gonna do this on the stream and talk about the things that I was having issues with, and maybe people could offer me suggestions and stuff. But I kept getting supreme lag where I would try to draw a circle and it would come out a squiggle because I moved my hand too quickly. And I thought it was because I was streaming, so I turned off I'm sorry, recording. So I turned off the recording, kept happening. I restarted my whole computer, turned everything off, and for some reason, when I tried to make a big like oval like that, it would get messed up. And usually it isn't that bad, but again, it was a weird hiccup of a problem that I didn't want to mess with while I was recording. So that's another strike against Clip Studio Pro. I'm not saying I'm giving up on it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I wanted, and I've also heard other good things about it that I haven't really explored. Like it's supposed to be good for lettering and that kind of stuff, but I haven't. Again, I haven't. Maybe you have to do plugins. I don't know, but the basic, selection tools and stuff didn't really thrill me. They don't seem much different than Photoshop. I'm also really bad at learning stuff like that because I'm bad at like exploring. It's like I need it for this drawing I'm working on right now. I care. Otherwise, I don't care. All right, so that's my first pass. I don't love it. Let me do another layer. Where's the layer? Oh, see, it's also like weirdly flipped. So a lot of my hesitation is because again, I'm used to CS3, and some of the controls have just been moved um, for I'm sure what they think is a good reason, but to me it just seems haphazard. Okay, so here's a perfect example. There's a slider for the size, so I either need to slide it or type it in. Whereas previously it'd be like 7, 10. I could just select it. So I want 30, and I have to go in and type it. That's annoying. There might be like a toggle switch I can activate to change that, but I don't know where it is. Um, and I don't feel like doing research right now. And so, if you've watched these before, I have the same basic technique where I sort of use a lower opacity, bigger brush, and then work my way backwards to get higher and higher opacity and smaller brushes. I'm getting a little bit of a lag here too, actually. Not nearly as bad as I got on Clip Studio, but so you can see I'm doing kind of jaggy lines, and that's not on purpose. Um, yeah, yeah, I think I'm making her look too mean. Like, I mean, she's a warrior, but she's a friendly warrior. So I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna go a little quicker on this pass. Let me see how much time is expired at this point. Oh, I'm still good. I got like 11 something minutes. She's got very powerful cheekbones. Yeah, maybe I'll draw this pass. I'll just let her be really hard featured and kind of mean, and then I'll soften that up in the next pass. I think, yeah, I made the eyes too angled as well. She does seem to have like very thick, well, it depends on who's drawing her. Sometimes she has thick eyebrows, sometimes not. Eyelashes, what I should say, not eyebrows. And then her headpiece, I don't quite have a handle on it. It's like looks like it's three pieces, so three basic pieces. So it's got sort of a tiara headband piece like this, and it dips down a little bit in the middle, and then there's a jewel. So that's the easy piece. And then she has these sort of Thor Valkyrie winged pieces that sort of go in and then out and then back in again and almost connect there. And then this sort of twirls up that way. Yeah, this lag is killing me. I would keep using CS3. I don't have really any complaints with it. It's just because it's so old, it's actually glitching on me with my newer monitor and things like that, and it's crashed a few times. And so I feel like I technology is moving on and forcing me to upgrade. Otherwise, I wouldn't. And that's usually how I upgrade when I'm forced to, or if there's some brand new technology that is not an upgrade. But like when I got my Cintiq, it wasn't an upgrade of another Cintiq. It was like, hey, I could draw on a monitor now. Awesome. I guess arguably it was a upgrade from like a Wacom tablet, which yeah, I mean it was, but it was different enough that it wasn't like relearning a new Wacom tablet. It was a whole new thing that was actually made my life easier, and I kind of messed that up. So that's that basic size. Yeah, these eyes are terrible. And then I'll give her a little hair bones, not bones, but just hair. And it seems like it's sort of pulled back into the tiara helmet thing and then comes down, and then she's got her neck, and she's got another little golden bracelet necklace thing here, and then more of this. All right, so I don't love that. So this bottom layer, I'm just gonna completely erase, which is down at the bottom here. And this one, I will turn down to 20%. Let me look at my time. I've got, it keeps turning off, a little under 10 minutes, so I'm doing okay on time. I'm gonna take my brush, bring it up to 75%, and I'm gonna bring my size down to 25, and I'm gonna really concentrate on the eyes here. I'm gonna look at my reference a little bit. Yeah, she's got like kind of a heavy mess. What? Why is that not writing? Oh, I'm in the wrong layer. Haha, that's you all know about wrong layers if you've ever used layers. Okay, so now I'm on the top. Matter of fact, I will put a lock on that lock, and I'm gonna try. I think I'm using. I thought this isn't black. This is actually like a slate blue. So that's not amazing, but whatever. It's just a sketch fun. It's a sketch fun, guys. All right, that's a little better. And then she sort of has like sometimes she has like a cocked eyebrow expression. So not so much like angry, more like, hey, you talking to me? Don't be foolish. I'm the princess of power. My cousin's He-Man. Either one of us could destroy you for the honor of Grayskull or by the power of Grayskull, depending on which one of you one of us you're talking to. Again, she's got like big eyes because she's animated, and they're blue. So I'll give little teeny black. Oh, see, this is the thing I hate about this. I held it for too long, and that thing comes up. I don't. I want to disable that because sometimes I stop to think, and then bloop, that little dumb thing comes up. That's one of the things I disliked about this that made me want to try Clip Studio. But unfortunately, I'm finding an equal amount of good and bad things between this and Clip Studio, which the obvious answer is like, get both, do both, but I don't want that. I don't want to have to work on something in one program and then halfway through switch to another. Currently, I like the inking better in Clip Studio, but I'm having trouble with the coloring being as nice. And I've heard people suggest, oh, well, ink it in Clip Studio and then bring it into Photoshop and color it there. But like that's extra cost to have two programs and just extra hassle too. Like I like an all-in-one solution if at all possible. All right, so I give her yeah, I don't like that smile. It's the bottom lip is way too big. Top lip's okay. She's actually looking at her. She's sort of got almost like a pursed lips. I don't know. Again, I've never drawn her. Excuse me. And I don't draw a lot of like, Amazon kind of power women, Wonder Woman type characters anyway. So I'm sort of learning on the job here. Take that off. I probably made her nose too big too. But whatever. We'll let her nose be a little big. Probably got busted once or twice. Why not? So oh, geez, under 7 minutes. I think this will have to be the final like line pass because I did want to put some color on it. Okay, so those lips are weird. I'm also doing it kind of filmation animation style, like style guide, but that's not the style I'm really drawing it in. I've set myself quite the challenge here, but it's all for practice and learning and goofing around and talking to you fine peoples and animals or sentient robots, rocks. I always like to be inclusive. All right, that's better, not great. I think the big chin is throwing me off too, which I know I'm not going to do. So let me go ahead and do this armor piece. I feel like it would work best if I do it in one stroke like that. It may not be as accurate, but at least it gives the impression of one molded piece of metal. That line looks terrible. Ooh, that's better. All right, and curve that one around a little bit. And then if I was doing a finished piece, I would just do the whole thing on the left and copy and paste to the right. I'm not going to do that now, but that's how I would do it. Let me see. She's got 4 little feather things, not including the one I just drew. And it looks like it starts about halfway. So I'll go 1, 2, and they all kind of arch upwards. So that's 2. That's 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. And then they kind of curve in like this and like land in each other. That's sort of right. It's a little weird. I have a hard time with stuff like that. I have to draw it like a bunch because it like doesn't serve like it's a beautiful form more than a functional form. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a shield or a helmet or like, oh, okay, it covers. It's like kind of serves no purpose other than to be ornate. And so I have a hard time. You can't kind of fake it and go, oh, well, I could draw a metal helmet on someone and it'll look like a thing that would sit on a head and protect them. But to make it look like the style that whatever her people, I guess Etherians, Eternia, Etheria, I think Etheria was her planet. Whatever, aesthetic they do. Oh gosh. Let me go the other way. What? See, I'm doing something wrong. It bows out, but I have this line bowing out a little bit too much, so it's throwing me off. So, all right, let's go in and then guts. That's about right, but I just did a bad job doing it. So in, out, in, and guts. Okay, that's not perfect, but we're gonna finish it off like that. And then we got to do the wing things, starting about the middle. So 1, up a little bit, and then 2, and the third one, and the fourth one up there just connects. Actually, I shouldn't have done that line. I should do a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we'll connect, sort of ascending, so the ones getting closer to the top stick out a little bit more. Good enough for punk rock. And I'll give her a little bit of line here for her cheeks. That might be too much. That's too much. Let me back that up. Matter of fact, I won't even draw that yet. It looks like her chin should be wider and less long. That looks better. Let me turn that off. Looks better. It's still not on model as it were, but we're short on time here, so yeah, that'll have to do. And I'll give her just a little teeny bit of line there to differentiate her top and bottom teeth. And, oh, I got to do the tiara piece thing here. Headband, whatever you want to call it. Let me check time. I'm doing bad. Oh, my time, it keeps turning off. Oh my gosh, 3.5 minutes. What am I doing? All right, maybe I won't have time for color. Flute. Qua. Flute. That's not straight. Whatever. No time left. There's the gem. And then this hair is kind of coming up and over. Up and over the hair. Like a cascading waterfall of blonde. All right, and then it dips in like that, but I'll only do it on one side so you can see her neck and her neck brace thing there. All right, good enough. And then just a little bit, no, that's too high. She's got like a chest plate thing, but I don't think it would show up, so I will just put the hair coming down like this. Erase that. This is taking me way too long just to get this far. Problem is I also plan to, oh, this eraser sucks. I don't like the way it's a crosshair instead of a circle. I don't know why that is. This is the new Photoshop, everybody. Um, but yeah, part of the problem is I expected to do a lot of the work in color, but I'm not going to have a lot of time for color. So I'll put a couple lines here to give it more depth and add to the sort of metallic to make it a different material than the rest of her hair, her face, that kind of stuff, at least. Put a line around that. Similarly, oh, here too. Similarly, I will go into, that looks like an exclamation point. my brush and make it smaller. I'll make it to 15 from 25 and just put a little hair extras to get a little texture. And I'm definitely getting away from the animation model because just these little bit of details are making it more comic book, more illustration, because they wouldn't have this much detail in a animated model they have to do over and over again, at least a two-dimensional one, which she was She-Ra. And I'll put a little bit of color on this lip because she does wear lipstick, and the top lip usually has a bit of a shadow. Yikes. Oh my god, that stupid thing. That looks really rough. Let me redo that. I'm going to be out of time in seconds. I'll put a little bit of shadow here as well. I don't like this. I don't like it, folks. It looks like a weird off-brand She-Ra. Not quite the 80s, not at all the new one, and but also not like a, hey, it's my style, I redid it, and it's cool, whatever. It's just sort of like, it's a not quite as good version of the one that it's supposed to be. But, you know, they can't all be win-wins. They can't all be win-wins. Casbot, they can't all be win-wins. All right, let me see my time here. I probably have like 1 minute. I have less than a minute. I have 40 seconds. The left eye and the right eye, I tried to give her like a little bit of a cocked eyebrow thing, but I think I did it too much. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this eye and just cheat it up to make it a little bit wider and bigger. And that's better. Yeah, I don't like this, but let me see. I'll put another. Do I have time for another layer? Probably not. I will just put a shading layer maybe. I'll bring my thing back up to 40, and this is going to be a shadow layer. Shadow layer. I should make this even bigger. Oh, there's the timer. All right, so that's 15, but I'm going to just quick ploop this in. Ploop it like a plumber. This is Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Floppy Joe. And then what I'm going to do is just lower the opacity and then erase for a second. So I'm giving myself some cheat time, which again, if you've watched any of my videos, I always do. I'm a big fat cheater, but that's okay because nobody's doing this challenge but me. It's not even a challenge. It's just like an exercise. All right, so there's that. And then I'll take the whole layer and bring it down to 50%. Nope, 25%. And then I'll go ahead in with my eraser and I'll set that to stupid, I can't do it easily, so we'll somewhere in the neighborhood of 100. Set the opacity down to 50, and then I'll just soften some of these edges a little bit. Actually, I won't do it on the metal. I'll only do it on the organic stuff. So once again, to differentiate textures of material. All right, and there. I don't like it, but it's done. Go!
And there you have it. I am not happy with this, and I thought about redoing it or not posting it, but you know what? They're not all winners, and it was a 15-minute thing of a character I've never done in a genre I'm not particularly skilled at, so I'm just going to let it fly and show you, you know, warts and all, as they say. Maybe next time it'll be a little nicer, but this was it. I said, give me some requests. This is what I picked. This is what I did. Yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching. Art, yes. Me, you. 80's robot toys, Gazbot.
The New Test, the Testament of Glups. You like marbles? Marbles! Marble!